Okay, back up. So, it's 1997, May. We're doing a music festival in Turku called Down by the Laituri. Okay? Okay, cool. So, I played a little bit of this in advance recently, but like 2 runs. I have the highest score and one of the lowest ones because it's not an easy game in my opinion. So, let's see what the music is like. Or the sound effects. Can you hear the phone doing its thing, basically? Yeah, it seems like you can hear it. Cool. Dial tone, yeah. It's not, like, very high, but it's not supposed to be. Just like you have the slight... Like, this game is very light on sounds. There's almost no music. There's one in the menu, and these small sound effects. Okay, cool. So, the first thing we do is we call the sääasema, which is weather station. And there's a guy. Okay, so at least they're not giving us rain. So that's good. I'm under the impression that you should basically restart the game if the game is like, yeah, there's going to be rain, because that's bad for a festival, so... Yeah. I mean, the mechanic is very simple, but it does matter in terms of... and there's some, like, memes on the table, like the piece of dice and a snail that's, you know, somehow a part of the meteorological process, and a dead frog in a in a jar that's supposed to tell them, like, if it's gonna rain or whatever. So yeah, that an accurate depiction of a meteorological the intricacies of meteorological science. Yes. Mm. Also, Natal, hello, welcome, and I hope you've had a good time. Cool. Okay. That's nice. Lava Vuokraamo, the place where you rent stages, basically. Just woke up. Cool. I just finished Assetto Corsa's career mode and got the achievement for that. So that's really good, making it my highest rated achievement of all time, because it's so difficult to do, or time consuming, or both. Okay. So we take all of these stages because they add really big venues for us to use in the festival, and that's helpful to get profits if you know the correct kind of bands to put there. So that's good. So that's that done. Sponsorivälittäjä, the broker for sponsors. Okay, so it tells us that hi, I'm gonna read you some sponsor sponsor ehdotus. Help me out. Brain, come on. Jesus. To potential sponsor deals. Ehdotus. I just can't think of the name for ehdotus. It's like a suggestion. Sponsor suggestions that you can either accept or deny. If you deny one, the firm might give you a better suggestion, or you might get nothing. So if you keep on denying, you eventually get nothing. But if you deny a bit, then you might get a bigger offer. Not an expert at all on how deep the mechanic goes. The last time I tried, the game let me deny all of them once and they went up. So I'm going to try that again. Okay? So, Toolbox gives 800 marks. No, they give 900. Cool. Lumikkone gives 9,410. No, and they raise into 9,540. Cool. Sikakopio Oy gives 2,100. So again, yep, works from 2-1 into 2-3. Yeah. Off is giving 7,500 marks. Again, 1 no and 7,900 and yes. And that's it. So there's always 4, and I believe there wouldn't be any others. I don't know if there's a risk of failing them if you do no twice. I haven't tried that yet. Okay. Well, that's a part of our attempt to not fail. Okay. Mainostoimisto. This mechanic is about just like the advertisement agency. So you can just like invest the money, which in this day it was in Finnish marks. So we use euros now, but in '97 we had Finnish marks as our currency. So you can put all of this money in here, but I am unsure how like if there's a big risk to this. Like the maximum amount to be used in advertising is that, and I don't know if it's always going to be helpful. Or, I mean, like, if the correct answer is always to do maximum. I don't think I did last time, so we could absolutely fall underwater because of this investment. I don't know. We'll try. We'll just give it a solid go, right? Like, I've tried twice. One time went hard negative, and another time I made a decent profit. But still, on the profit run, I still had a lot of room in all the venues. So I feel like a lot of advertisement is probably at least a thing to try. Okay? Cool. That's the phone done. And yeah. So yeah, I'm aware indeed that the game screen is a little awkward, but again, the game has a very awkward sized screen. It's just, at least you can now see all of the game. So you can move the pencil like so. It's cool. And then there's a mouse in the hole there, and it says hi. It's a little small, but it's there. And you can also point your cursor into that electrical socket, and this happens. So that's fun. Okay. I don't think this shelf does anything. This bush does that bit of a movement there. The window, I don't think does anything. I have a vague memory of that plant doing something, but I might be just misremembering that. And this door is to leave the game. That's, yeah. And this picture here is the motivational picture of the game, apparently. I mean, I could name a number of workplaces, where that's not at all an uncommon thing to put in the wall. So there you go. Okay, this is a yhtyelista. Is the list of bands. So these are the bands in the game. This number here. 22 pistepirkko or 22 pistepirkko, Aikakone, Liisa Akimov, H.C. Andersen, Apulanta, Blues Affection, Booger Harp, Kamerata, Pro-Laituri, CMX, Disgrace, Eläkeläiset, Group Amos, Joel Hallikainen, Pauli Hanhiniemen Perunateatteri, Harp Soul, Juliet Jonesin Sydän, J. Karjalainen, Kelppopojat, Arja Koriseva ja Fortuna, Kuusi kutsumatonta, Mikko Kuustonen, Kika Laitinen, Liikkuvat lapset, Lemonadi, Elohopea, Pavel Lindholm, Tommi Läntinen ja Kuutamolla orkesteri, Menneisyyden vangit, Pelle Miljoona Rockers, Miljoonasade, Mothers Against Sex Association, M.A. Numminen, Nylon 66, Kari Peitsamon Skootteri, Plankton, Popeda, Puskaradio, T. Rautioet Atlas, Saint 13, Sig, Jari Sillanpää, Sir Elwoodin Hiljaiset värit, Aki Sirkesalo, Sound of R.E.L.S, Super Troopers, Supperheads, Te Lipattomat, Vaakku et Patterihaukat, Vilperin perikunta, Wallas Waraband, Xysma, and Yö. Even I don't know most of these. Like, the ones I know as a Finnish person who grew up in the 90s, like, I know, like, roughly half of these, or a bit over 1/3, or something. So, they're all, like, there's some rock, there's some 90s pop music, there's some, kind of like, slower ballad music aimed at like the 40 and 50-year-olds of like the tango type thing, you know, and so on. So that's the spectrum roughly we are in. There's a bit of punk in there as well, and a couple of humor bands, and so on. But yeah. We're allowed to have babies, but yeah, I don't know what that band is about. I've never heard of it. I don't know if it's a real thing even. I don't know if all of these are real, but I recognize many of them, so I assume that they are. Okay, and they are actually in a different screen. They are actually valued at different star rates between 1 star and 5 stars. So that's a thing to keep in mind because I'm not an expert on like what does well where, but this is the list of the possible venues you can use, right? And there will be a better visualization of them. I just showed what the book showed, you know. Menoarvio is the list of assessed costs so far. It's going to go up even more. So currently, 250,000 Finnish marks because of the stuff we've already bought. It's a band name, probably making fun of Procrusters. Probably yes. Probably yes. I don't know if it's a real band. It could be, because this game, as far as I understand, was made as the homage of the 10th anniversary of that music festival. I don't know if these bands were the bands of that year's thing, but at least many of the bands are actual bands from that era. So, and a few of them are still ongoing. Not many, but a few. Okie dokie. Cool. And now we go to the most important bit, which is this map here. This is like the main mechanic of the game. Into these squares, we are gonna put the bands from the right, and they have like the venues have like different numbers of how many people they can take, and a star quality to I don't know, be like the Michelin stars of venues. Like some are nice places and some are less nice places. I don't know. Like for example, the Jokilava is only 1 star in terms of like nice place quality. It's indeed a real life band. Oh jeez, I wasn't sure. Now we know. Thank you, Catastros. Um, uh, so Jokilava, which means the river stage, basically. 94 to 02. That fits as well. Yeah, it's because the game is set in 97. Cool. Thanks for the info. So yeah, so it's not a nice place, but it draws 2,000 people. The H is for henkilö. Henkilö is Finnish for person. So 2,000 people. So that's a big, like, there's a lot of potential for a lot of people if you manage to get them there. So, you know. Similarly, the Puolalan Puisto, which is a thing I believe we rented that as well. 3-star in quality, draws 7,000 people. As completely like a different side of a thing, there's a bunch that are, what's like a really small place. Tinatuoppi is 2 stars, 75 people, meaning that you kind of have to, if you're gonna put anything in Tinatuoppi, I would have to imagine it would need to be a really low quality band, so they don't cost a lot to book there, and then hope they draw basically the maximum crowd to make a small profit. Because there's so little room to, like, get people in, you know? So the difference between sizes is 75 people and 7,000 people and lots in between, okay? So from these arrows on the top, we change between Wednesday day, Wednesday evening, Thursday day, Thursday evening, Friday, well, midday, really, and Friday evening, Saturday midday, and Friday, Saturday evening, and that's it. So between Wednesday and Saturday for midday and evening. there's a limited amount of uses for each band. So, for example, if I remember right, Jari Sillanpää over here is a thing that you can use only once, and then a few you can use twice, and so on. So, in my personal experience, I have always found that the big venues are good to use M.A. Numminen. He's a 4-star artist, and at least in my experience, every time in my childhood, if I can remember this right, he always brings a profit. Beyond that, though, it's a lot of dice work, really. Like, it's based on, well, I mean, sure, it's based on probably which place is good for which kind of a band, what is the size of the place, how well have you advertised, what's the weather, but I'm not that good at the game to really keep all of that in mind, and it's a lot of random, especially about the weather, right? So, like, they haven't really promised any rain, but they were quite unsure of some of them anyway, so, you know. So, but I do like to put M.A. Numminen into the big venue of this park, the Puolala Park. I believe M.A. Numminen can be done twice, so let's put that there. And again, blue means there's a potential profit, and red means there's no profit. The deepness of the blue is like, well, if you go too deeply blue, it's probably gonna be expensive so that people don't come. I don't really know. Okay, are we all in the same page? It's not that difficult to, like, it's not super complex in the end, and again the money is in Finnish marks, so the ticket for the thing is 40 Finnish marks, which adjusted for inflation is like what's like a so roughly €1 at the time when it was switched around was like 6 Finnish marks. So without inflation, that ticket price would be in the ballpark of like €6.50. But probably with inflation, it's probably closer to, I don't know, 10 plus, I don't know, in euros. So, okay. So M.A. Numminen into those. Cool. Then let's, so indeed, the big ones are Jokilava for 2000, Teatteriparkki, the theater park, or theater parking lot, really. For 1,500 people. Then there's not too expensive. Yeah, I figured it probably would. Like, I try to avoid the really light blue number with those, and you know, to get like a good in between between light blue and really dark blue. So yeah. 300 people, 500 people, 200 people, 300 people, 800, 75, 700, 2000, and yeah. Okay. So basically, and yeah, Varvin Tori, the Varvi market is 4,000. So the Varvin Tori, the Teatteriparkki, Jokilava, and Puolalan Puisto are like the big areas into which we should probably try to focus the more popular bands, because one, they're expensive to book. We need lots of people to offset that, right? And they have the potential to pull a lot of people if you do it like so. So, you know. So I have a feeling that Jari Sillanpää is probably not a terrible idea to put into a big venue. Let's see about keeping them in around 40 Finnish marks, unless we have to go higher to get even a potential profit. That's probably a decent idea, at least at this point in the game, right? Okay. 4,000, 4,000, 7,000. Yeah, okay. Thursday evening. What's like a big one that we could try? Maybe Yö. That's a pretty well-known one. and highly like there's like only 1 or 2 bands that are 5 stars, and even that's not always a guarantee of a profit because some of the 5-star bands are extremely expensive to book. So let's see. Mikko Kuustonen is 4 stars, so is Miljoona Sade. How's about Aikakone is 5, but again, Aikakone is really, really expensive. So again, I want to put it here so that we have the possibility of making a big, or at least some profit. Because if I remember right, Aikakone and Jari Sillanpää are the most expensive ones by a lot. So you gotta do really well to offset that, I think. So Apulanta. Apulanta does some pretty good punk rock stuff. A bit mainstream these days, but like they started out very punk and went more and more mainstream, like a pop rock thing later on. But they make good music. I like them. So yeah, CMX is like progressive rock. I also like them too. Very poetic lyrics, and like the main vocalist of CMX has actually made a lot of or a few like poem collection books as well, and published them. I did like some you know, in my Finnish classes of basically senior high school in Finland terms, I did some papers on CMX and the vocalist because the teacher was a big fan of that dude, and it was a good idea because of that. Let's see, Jokilava. Let's try Arja Koriseva there. So yeah, an example of an expensive band that at 10 would be a guaranteed failure. Despite living in a city known for its music festivals, I've not been to any music festivals. You don't have to have been. Like, it's not a thing for everyone. I've been in half a dozen Tuska open airs, in a couple of Kivenlahti rocks, and maybe 20, 30 indoor club concerts or festivals. So, like, I've done a bunch, but I'm by no means like always out and about in metal concerts either. But I've done a lot I've done enough to like call myself probably a person who's been to some places, but But boring or interesting is not necessarily it's not like measured by have you or have you not been to concerts or so on. It's we all are different and all are interesting in our own ways, I'm sure. And not everyone, it's not a self-valued thing necessarily for life. Literally a potato. Well, I mean, hey, this band here is called Pauli Hanhiniemen Perunateatteri, which translates to the Potato Theater of Pauli Hanhiniemi. So, I mean, we can all be a potato and still be a band, so I think it's fine. Plus, we've talked a lot about fast foods, and like, there's a lot of good ways to have potato, so there's nothing wrong with potato. Okay, let's try. How about Joel Hallikainen at Iltatähti Orkesteri? Which true that. Yeah, exactly. In many forms, they are delicious. So this translates to Joel Hallikainen and the Evening Star Orchestra. Many of the names are just names, so they don't translate to anything unless you like try to push it. But but yeah, I can salt, starch, and fat. It's true. It is a true story. Where's the next? Yeah, Varvintori there. Let's put Mikko Kuustonen in there, and then a completely different day, but a different venue as well, because I'm again super not sure about because there's probably a decently big difference in. Actually, that might be a good point to trying to put, because I think I put Apulanta and CMX into the same, or CMX in there. Yeah, let's put the other CMX into a different place, just because I don't know like which big bands are good for which venues, because this probably is a difference for the number generating stuff. So there might be a good idea to do that. Oops, sorry. Okay. Miljoonasade. Teatteriparkki? Why not? Why not? So yeah, let's try to put the 4-star and 5-star bands into the large venues at first, and then start filling out the smaller places as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to try to fill out every place. We'll see, right? Because many of the small places can be really difficult to get a profit on, and the profit is going to be really small even if you manage a profit. So it's like, do we not, you know? But we'll see. We'll start out in putting the big ones in the big places, and then just work out from there, right? Sound of R.E.L.S. Again, four stars there, so we could try. And then different place. There we go. Aki Sirkasalo. Again, I can maybe translate all of these when I get back to the band screen itself. I could translate the names that make any sense. Or maybe if we do another run, then go from the list. Or actually, this gives a name. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Okay. 900, 2000. Okay. Let's put Sir Elwood in Hiljaiset Värit there. I hope I hadn't put it into that spot before. Seems like no. Okay. 1500 for a 4, so same again, Sir Elwood this time there. Okay. Seems good. Seems good. Okay, cool. What's the next, like, a good 4-star band we could do? And again, some bands are 2 gigs and some are 1. So. Okay. I wouldn't want to put Popeda in in the same place. So, is there any other 4 stars left apart from Popeda? Let's see. Yes. And I don't have Joel Halligan in the same place. No, good. That's really nice. Cool. Good. Good. And Popeda was there, so I'll put it in here next time. Oh, it's actually Dancing Marina, huh? So it's 900 people. Okay. Okay, cool. So I wouldn't want to put the same thing there again. I mean, I could put it this way, though, because I'm kind of low on 4-star bands at this point, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's all of the list. So the only 4-star band left is indeed Popeda. So let's, yeah. That way. Cool. Okay. Then we go to the nitty-gritty here. So, Tuomiokirkko, it probably has a different name in English, but the literal translation for Tuomiokirkko is the Judgment Church. But, like, it's probably just a church. But the literal translation for Tuomiokirkko, which is a normal thing to call these things in Finland, is Judgment Church. There's probably there's probably a word for that in English, but it's a church. You know, it's kind of like a cathedral, but not probably as big or something. I don't know. Like I don't. Yeah, it's weird. It's basically a cathedral, just maybe not quite as big. And it probably has a word that's different than a church, but it's basically a church. You know, I don't know. Is really the answer. Okay. So now we go into 3-star bands, basically, which the first 3-star band is Eläkeläiset. Okay, let's put them in that church. And at 40, we could have profit. That seems risky, but we might as well try, right? And next up, we can put them into something maybe here that's not terribly small. Samppalinna, 700 people. Yeah, okay. Tuomiokirkko has the problem that it's probably a pretty expensive place to go to, so that's why it's difficult to make a good profit there, probably. Börs nightclub. There we go. The history behind that term, I don't know. It's really hard to know that, like, from the top of my head, like the history of some words. You just always use those. Doomkirkka is the center church for that overall. Yeah. That's that. Yeah, the the Doom Church. That's also actually, yeah. The Doom Church is actually a more accurate term. Oh boy. Oh damn, that's true. Because doom and judgment translate to the same thing in Finnish and in Swedish too, I think, or at least they kind of are kind of weirdly the same word in a weird. In Finnish, at least, doom and judgment translate to the same word for some reason. Same thing. How in Finnish there's no different words between the sky and heaven, right? Like you think of heaven as the, you know, Catholic, evangelist, Lutheran, whatever Christian heaven, the place with the God and the peoples and Jeebus and so on. That's heaven, and the sky is the place with the clouds and the sky. For some reason, both of those things in Finnish are the same word, taivas. And taivas, the sky, taivas, heaven. They're the same word. And from the context in which they are used, we always know which one we're talking about. But they are the exact same word. I don't know why. It just is. Doobly-doobly-doo. Suspect that they are called that because they're past judgment and all the churches and parishes under their responsibility if needed. Probably so. That something along those lines is probably the reasoning behind that. That makes sense to me. Yes. 3-star band in the Potato Theater. Let's put it there. And since we're at the 3-star thing, let's put them in other relatively big venues and see if we can keep on doing this. What do you put one in? I mean, we can put 500 is not a small place. It's probably good. Okay, cool. Next 3-star is Juliet Jones's Heart, or Juliet Jones in Sudan. So let's put that into a 5. Oh, maybe not. I don't want to go 50 if I don't have to, because I want to try and keep it uniform in the number 40. Cool. In the numbers. That's actually surprisingly difficult. Like, again, it's very likely that if we try to go too tricksy with this, that we're gonna turn out to, because there are gonna be surprising money expenses that we can't foresee, and they start adding up when you try to do everything. So, well, this is gonna be, there is risk involved, but we're just trying. Just put a 3-star band there. Menneisyyden vangit. Let's try that in the. Okay, that's Ravintola Koren, Restaurant Koren. That's probably an expensive place to be for some reason or something, because it's hard to get a gut suspicion. Yes, that gut suspicion fits my gut suspicion. Let's put it that way. Any 3-star band I could put in the. I'm worried that that's going to be really difficult to do because it's barely possible with 40. So we'll see. And in my couple of runs, it seems like it's really based on like some weird number generating to get or not get profit. So, any 3-star bands for? There we go. Vilperin perikunta. How do I even the estate of Vilperi, as in the instance that controls the value of Vilperi. The same way how Bob Ross has an estate that controls the stuff of Bob Ross, you know. The same concept is perikunta. Estate, you know, the people who own and do the Bob Ross stuff. Yeah. Or, you know, or Tolkien stuff or whatever, you know, the so on. Not like rights holders, but like the, you know, the people who are sort of sons and relatives and control this. It's that sort of stuff. Super Troopers. Let's see if we can put anything into a relatively 500 people. That's expensive. Oh, sorry. There. Yeah, okay, cool. Dancing Marina, let's see. We are quite low on bands at this point, I have to admit. Okay. Tina Tuoppi, 200, 500. Okay, what's the next big, basically Kari-Peitzamo again? Yeah. Okay, do we have any 3-star bands left is the next question, because I think we're kind of... Well, there's one. Okay. Not on that day. 500. Yes, okay, cool. Okay, after that, we might not have any 3-star bands. We do not. Okay. My gut feeling is to maybe try to go for a full... like put everything somewhere if it makes any sense. Let's try that, right? So the next instance is to look for the not tiniest places and put 2-star bands in there. So like 300, well, there's 300, 300, 275, 300, 300, 200, 275, 200... 300, 300, 200, 200, 900, 200. Let's put something in 900 before I forget, really. At least 2 stars, like Blues Affection or something, sure. 300, 300, 500, 200, 200, 300, 75, 200, 700. Should probably try something, so let's put something in 75. Oh, okay, so now we haven't missed any obviously big venues at this point. Okay, cool. So in the 300s and so on, or 500s and so on, we should put 2-star bands. So yeah, 200, like, damn it. Wow, that's surprising. Okay, blues, whatever. Okay, cool. Why was that so difficult to get a... Oh, okay. Well, you can't do everything, right? There we go. Let's see. Blues Affection into Pelimies. Disgrace into that. Is this again gonna be... Yeah, that's really expensive for some reason. We might not be able to use Camerata for some reason. It's really expensive to book into places for some reason. That's really odd. I don't know why. So we have Disgrace already today, so let's put Kelpo Pojat into a 300 venue. And oh, we had one more. Okay, what's like the some of the biggest 3-star or Biggest small venues we have left. Probably this one. Can't do it at 40. Oh boy, that's... I have a feeling that 50 is gonna... That's probably not gonna be a profit, but we gotta do at least 50 to even have a potential profit. That sucks. Maybe if we turn these around. Yes. Okay. Good. Okay. Limonadi elohopea, which means lemonade quicksilver, which sounds like a thing you might not want to drink, but that's just me. Nylon 69ers, okay, good. Puska radio, good. Yeah, these are kind of small. We'll worry about those when we have... Unrelated. Bacon is baking and it smells great. That sounds good. Bacon is almost always related, so it's probably good to mention. Yes. Okay, now all we have left is... There's a couple of 300s. Puska radio in there. And Nylon 69 maybe in there. Wait, let's switch them around. There, because I think I put Nylon 69 in here on a different day. I wanna avoid putting the same band into a same venue, except for M.A. Numminen, because I'm so confident that it's supposed to give a good profit in the park here. So that's the plan. Okay, so I think, yeah, 200s are the next stuff to use. So, I don't want to put the same band on the same day if I can avoid it. So, 40 for that. Just barely possible with that. And we might want to put... I mean, again, I think we'd already checked though that this is just for some reason not a possibility. So Kamerata is maybe not coming into the festival. Sorry. Apparently the band is really expensive to book because it's impossible to get a profit for 200 people, even at 90 marks per ticket, even at a potential packed house. Like, what? For a 2-star band, like, okay, if you say so. Also, there's a weird design thing where you can put the same band in 2 different venues in the same time slot. Like, yeah, it's a vague the evening, but still, you can put the same band into the same place, which I don't want to do. Their loss, yeah, I suppose. Because I don't want to put a 2-star band into a huge venue. Like, I could probably put it in, you know, the park here, say, yeah. But the really big venues, I gotta put for bands that are, like, high quality and have, you know, therefore the potential to bring more people. So, that's really strange, though. Let's put, I don't know, Liikkuvat Lapset or something in here, because we are out of 2-star bands for that day. Okay. The evening. Anything for 2... let's put Limonadi elohopea. There you go. There's 200 venues in here. One more Limonadi elohopea. Oops, sorry. There. And... again, I could give it a go, but... Nope. There you go. Again, it's very possible we lose really big on this festival. We're just trying, right? Hunters in... Might as well try. 200, 200, 200. Okay. That's like 4 different gigs the Limonadi elohopea can do, apparently. That's pretty cool. Did Finland ever have the whole rock music is sinful and satanic thing? Not in my lifetime, no. If it was before me. But Finland did a like in like the 70s. In like the 70s in Finland there was this band called Dingo, which DINGO that did that like broke through and like became the rock band in all of Finland, which was like this really weird like almost like a social experiment almost where one rock band was like all of the rock for like a number of years, like the thing. So basically everyone was a fan, and it was quite interesting that in that way. But it could indeed be that I'll just move this here. It could indeed be that the Puutorin P-halli 1,500 people. Let's, for the sake of argument, since that one band is so goddamn expensive. Okay. The band got lucky. I missed out on one 1,500 person venue. I'll give them that one go. Like, that way we get the band in the festival and we can try. Right? It's only on one day, the Friday evening, even usable. That's weird. Yeah, Finland is relatively small, so it seems plausible. Yeah, that basically, yeah, that thing happened. Let's put there we go. So yeah, but I don't think it was a thing. At least not in my lifetime. If it was something in the 50s and 60s or whatever, I didn't hear about it. But I don't think Finland was ever super deeply religious, and it's been just slowly less and less religious anyway. So it might be an American thing, yeah. Sounds quite possible that it is the case. Okay, there's a couple of... Yeah, Puskaradio is just way too expensive for that venue. So it's like... this 75 person venue is really weird to me because it's so small. It's probably going to be really difficult to find bands that can even do a potential profit because there's so little potential audience in there, There are still pockets of religious people in the... Oh, yes, there are. That filter in rock music is still, but it's a lot. It's a lot of... Yeah, the U.S. is a big country, and from the medias I consume, I have learned that there are lots of pockets of lots of extreme kinds of people in many directions. But it's a big country, so, it would check out, In a big enough country, there's all kinds of people in some sense, so, why not? Okay, so I know Plankton works, or Plankton, the band works for Tina Tuoppi. So yeah, the 75-person venue is weird, because it's so difficult to get a band there that can actually pull that stuff off. Because you gotta have a really cheap band that you then put to do their thing in there, Okay, now we have, I believe, someone in every spot in every time slot. So yeah, it is impossible to use every band to its full, but it is possible to use every band once if you really want to, But I indeed prefer to use the big bands their maximum amounts of times. Some of them can be only used once though, so it's fine. So across the board, every ticket to everything is 40. That's by no means, something you maybe need to do. It sort of landed that way because it was possible to do it that way. I'm hoping that makes it like that no one place pulls people away from the other place, Okay. Strange bunch over here, yeah. I suppose so. But, strangeness is a thing in many places, so it's not, So it goes. Okay, one band, every venue, everything's locked in. There's like I have in after I found and downloaded this game and got it to work on DOSBox, I've had 2 practice runs, one really bad, one I believe okay because it got the top spot. I have never done a run with every place full. I have never tried this before, at least not within the past 15 or 20 something years, So I don't know how this is going to go, but that's all of them full. Okay? That's all of the festival attempted to, we've filled every spot with something, which means that the this is the assessment for costs. It's a lot of that's a lot of money. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. So the projected costs of the festival are 1,470,600 marks. Finland is a pretty small country, so that's probably quite the expensive. Okay. That's about it. Like, and I mean that's basically as much as you can spend on stuff anyway. We've rented everything we can. Okay. The actual bands though. I'll translate them once before we go forward. So, the 22 Pistepirkko is the 21 Ladybug. No, sorry, the 22 Ladybug. That's what that is. The name deriving from that the ladybug is apparently, at least according to the name concept, supposed to have 22 black spots. Probably, I don't know. I don't know if they do, but that's like the name of the band. So I've heard a bunch of songs from them. I like them fine. They're mainstream with some personality in the vocals. Aikakone means time machine. Which you can see in here. This one, Aikakone. Lisa Akimov is literally just a name. There's nothing to translate there. H.C. Anderson, same thing, it's just a name. Which is that band is H.C. Anderson. I mean, the visuals are not super important really because many of them are not really accurate into anything. Apulanta means it's a kind of a made up word. Well, all words are made up, but it roughly would translate to like the it means help manure, as in manure that's supposed to help things grow. Or, that's what that is. Blues affection, that's English to begin with, so there you go. Booger harp, again, same thing, it's English already. Kamerata Kurz pro Laituri. Again, Laituri means pier, the thing in the water or next to the water. Everything else is either a name or English or already, so. CMX comes from the words cloaca maxima, which is the Latin Roman word for the sewer system in Rome. But yeah, CMX comes from that. Disgrace is English or already. Eläkeläiset means the pensioners. Group Amos. Amos is just the name of. And even that's not Finnish anyway, so yeah. Joel Hallikainen et Iltatähti... Joel Hallikainen and the Evening Star Orchestra. Pauli Hanhiniemen Perunateatteri, so the Potato Theater of Pauli Hanhiniemi. Harp and Soul, it's English already. The Heart of Juliet Jones is what that is. So J. Karolainen is just a name. So there you go. Kelpo Pojat is the Kelpo. Well, you could kind of turn a link into the Good Boys, really, is basically what that is. Kelpo is not quite the same thing as good, but that's basically what it is. You know? Arja Koriseva et Fortuna is just a name and the word Fortuna at the end. So, Kuusi Kutsumatonta is the 6 uninvited. Mikko Kuustonen is just a name, nothing to do there. Kikka Laitinen, same thing, just a name. Liikkuvat lapset, the moving children, is what that is. Limonade Elohopea is indeed the lemonade Quicksilver. Dave Lindholm, just a name. Tommi Läntinen ja Kuutamolla Orkesteri is Tommi Läntinen and the Kuutamolla doesn't have an exact translation. You could roughly call it the Moonlight Orchestra, but it's not quite the same thing. Kuutamolla is a very specific word that's kind of like the state of being out of it. You know, like you're like out of it in that sense. Like I don't know what's going on. That sort of thing. You know, is Kuutamolla. And the word Kuutamo is basically moonlight. You know, looking at the moon that's shining in the skies. The state of weather where moonlight is doing its thing is Kuutamo. And Kuutamolla is a word that's derived from that to denote that sort of I don't know what's going on out of it sort of a feel. That's a really hard one to really translate beyond that though. So yeah. The Prisoners of the Past is what that is. Menneisyyden vangit. Pelle Miljoona et Rockers, name and rockers. I mean, Miljoona means million, but it's the artist's name is Pelle Miljoona, so it's kind of like, Miljoona Sade is the million rain, so there we go. And here is Mothers Against Sex Association, so there we have that. M.A. Numminen is just a name. Nylan 69ers, it's English already. Kari Peitsamon Skootteri, the scooter of Kari Peitzamo. Again, Kari Peitzamo is just a name with a scooter. Plankton. Popeda is a word that, if I remember right, Popeda, I believe, is Russian for the word victory, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a Finnish band. I don't know why it's called that, but that's what it is. Puska Radio, the Bush radio. But it's the word Bush radio basically means like the local word, the word around the street or the bushes, that sort of thing is what the Bush radio stands for in the Finnish language. T. Rautala et Atlas is just a name with the word Atlas at the end. Saint 13, not really anything to translate there. It's just, saint and a number. SIG, I don't know what that stands for and what it's from. SIG. I haven't heard the band from outside of this setting, so don't really know what to do with that. It's not a word of anything as its own, though. Jari Sillanpää yhtyeinen on Jari Sillanpää with his band, is what that means. Jari Sillanpää is just a name. Sir Elwood's Quiet Colors is Sir Elwood in Hiljaiset värit. So there we go. Aki Sirkesalo et Lemmen jättiläiset is Aki Sirkesalo and the Giants of Love. So there we go. Sound of R.E.L.S, nothing to really do. I don't know what R.E.L.S stands for. I think I've heard the name outside of this, like in the 90s, like once or twice, but I don't know what the R.E.L.S stands for. Super Trooper, there we go. Supperheads, nothing to really translate there. It's English to begin with. The lipattomat. The capless is what that means. Like the cap part of a cap, like in the front, you know. Without a cap, capless. That's what that is. Vaakkuet patterihaukat. The word vaakku basically means a name for a duck is always vaakku. That's kind of what it is. So it's basically a duck and the battery hawks. Yeah, quack. Thank you. Yes. Quack and the battery hawks. Yes, that's actually a good call. Yes. Yep, that's basically it. Yes. Vilperin perikunta. Yes, I explained this. Like the estate of Vilperi is basically what I can translate that into. Vallasvaara band. Nothing. It's just a name with a band at the end. Xysma. No idea. It's not Finnish. It's just it's a band name. Don't really know what to do there. Yö means night. Yes, that's accidentally helpful. That's actually kind of what it is. Like, you could really... Like, imagine calling a duck quack. And that's honestly what that's actually kind of what it is as a translation of vaakku. That's honestly what it is. I just didn't think of that, but yes, accidentally helpful. That is, yes. I was wondering, like, how did that come to you? And I thought it might be an accident, but I was like, how does that happen as an accident? So I didn't say anything other than yes. So yeah, okay, cool. That's all the bands translated. Everything done. All the interactive stuff checked. You know, nothing else I think has any interaction with it. Just like, you know, turn the lights up if you wanna. For luck, destroy our cursor once more into the electrical socket. Roll the bush around a little bit. That's really, yeah. So turn the pencil, say hi to the mouse in the hole there. Check the top 10s, or well, top 13 really. Check the inspirational picture in the wall, and that's it. Okay, cool. Because now we've checked everything in the game. And now we press Valmis for ready, and then we just see the stats of what all the things did. And we might end up on like so much in the minus. I have no idea. I have no clue. Okay, let's try. Okay, ready? Ready. Is DBTL surely ready? Like, are you sure it's ready? Yes or no? Whew. Here goes nothing. Yeah, I have no idea what's gonna happen. We could end up so hard in the negative, it's not even funny. Or it could be funny, but really, really in the negative. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So this is the visualization of the gigs. So this visualization will happen.
Selene, Dufresne. Selene, Davidar.
Mazimu73! Holy crap! Thank you for the raid! Oh boy, this game is gonna take some explaining. Okay, I need to alt-tab out and give a shout-out. I'm on the DOS box, so it's gonna be a bit finicky. Give me a second. What the hell am I playing? Okay. Okay. Okay, how do I explain this game? Okay, so, hi, I'm from Finland. So, the games I've often been playing are these really vague, niche, retro bread trucks. I was like wondering, how the hell do you find me at this stage? I gotta thank Bread Truck then. Thank you so much for the raid. Holy crap. Oh. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Oh man. Okay, how do I explain this? Oh man. Okay, so I've been recently streaming a bunch of really not like 90s niche DOS games made often in Finland by Finnish people, like one or two people and so on. And today I've been hacking away at this game that is called Down by the Laituri, which the word Laituri translates to pier, you know, the thing next to the water with the boats on it, pier, right? Because there is a music festival, like this game is about managing and creating and booking and renting and so on the music festival in Turku, Finland in 1997 called Down by the Laituri, which with apparently 1997 accurate bands with some meme thumbnails and so on. And then you need to like put the ticket prices and check what weather it is and rent some venues and rent some stages and so on and so on and so on, and then just hope you make a profit. And that's the gameplay loop. It's the nichest thing you can probably ever imagine, doing a small-ish Finnish music festival in 1997. So here we are. So that's what we're playing, and we just got our festival, planned, and now we're looking at the results. And we've just gotten to the climax of checking did we make a profit per every gig, okay? So this is the first gig of the entire thing. It's like from Wednesday to Saturday, so 4-day festival. And we're now in the climax of checking for every single event if it made a profit. The first event in Börsin Puisto, Bretrock, hi! Thank you for the raid suggestion. I excellent timing, and this is quite the niche game to explain to anyone. Thank you for that. Thank you, and I hope you've been good and well, Bretrock. So, the first gig in Kari Peitsamon Skootteri made good profit, 6,500 Finnish marks. Very well. Next one, Jokilaiva with Apulanta made 7,000 marks. Not even close to a packed audience, but I find that these large park venues often don't get pulled into full no matter how cheap or something they go. It's kind of odd. Or maybe we should try to putting them really, really low. I don't know. But still, a profit, I'll take it. This is what I mean. The M.A. Numminen in the park gave us 22.4 thousand marks of profit. It still didn't even it got a tiny fraction of the potential audience in there, but it always seems to make a profit for some reason in like these huge numbers. I don't understand why, but they do with M.A. Numminen, even with tiny amounts of potential people in the park. I don't know what's up with that. Samppalinna eläkeläiset. Again, I had no idea if we're gonna be full on in the minus in the end. So close. The Wednesday gig of Miljoona Sade, the Million Rain. 960 Finnish marks of profit. That's just in the good. And again, eläkeläiset, a couple of thousand of... There. An example of not profitable one. Limonadi, Elohopea. It pulled the entire place into the full. But there was an unexpected cost of some copyright payments or something, which were a bit more than we intended. So we just didn't quite make a profit. That's why. 3,000 profit in Arja Koriseva. Cool. Puskaradio also made a couple of thousand of profit. Cool. And Kari Peitsamon Skootteri also almost full and got 5,000. That's good. And Nyland 69ers got 2,500. That's good. And CMX in Puolan Puista was 7,500. Pretty good. And here's a pretty big failure. Juliet Jones's heart, Juliet Jones in Sudan, 5,000 in the minus. Oh damn! But see, on my first run, almost all of them were minus. So you know, so I was expecting some of them to go badly. So it's the big pic. We're gonna see the big picture in the end. So 22 pistepirkko 3,300. Okay, that's fine. That's exact zero, exact even. I've never seen that before. Exact even. Wow. I have never seen that before. That's interesting because I feel like the game told us that it was a potential profit, and it got full. So, and there's no mention of extra unexpected costs either. So that's strange. Okay, cool. So Wednesday, we got on the plus for 60,000 in the end. That's really good. That's very good for one day, considering that we took some big risks here. So yeah. So again, the MA Numminen is almost always my most profitable one per one day. Like, I don't know why, but I'll take it. And that was Wednesday. So now we're into Thursday. Okay. So Pelle Million and Rockers 6,500. That's nice. 22 Pistepirkko got 10,000. That's pretty well done. I mean, it's not even close to the full venue, but again, the parks don't become full very... Like, we might need to put the park ticket prices to be lower to get them into being full. Like, if... I don't know if we're going to do another run. Maybe the chat can help me decide. But I got a feeling that if we do one more, we might want to try to put the parks into a 30 mark thing, so they're a bit cheaper than the other places, so they might get full that way, but I don't know. I don't know if that makes a difference. Okay! Jari Sillanpää, I mean, he is a 5-star dude, but that's 70,000 marks. That's... wow. Jesus. Holy crap. For a band called The Potato Theater of Pauli Hanhiniemi, 14,500 is a pretty nice haul. Jesus. Whoa. 36.2. Damn. Sir Elwood's Quiet Colors. Sir Elwoodin Hiljaiset Värit. Wow, 36k. Damn. That was good. Yeah, so an excellent example of why the expensive bands should be in these big venues, because J. Karalainen is one of the most expensive bands to book. So as you can see, the costs of getting the band and the cost of like the event is 50,000 marks alone. So because the band is so goddamn expensive. But with that said, big venue, and we went into 46.2 thousand in the plus. So far, really good stuff. The only failure was the Juliet Jones thing. I wasn't expecting this to go this well. Okay. An example of... these were really risky, tiny events. 200 people, just put a band in there, see if it pulls everyone in, and just barely a profit with that. And it did. 1,000, you know? Same thing here. Exact same thing here. Just different band. 22k for Joel Hallikainen and Iltatähti. Pretty good. And again, these small venues, we took a risk with them, but they seem to be mostly giving a tiny profit with them. So that was sensible then to try it, so far at least. Almost full and 8,000 and something for profit. That's really nice. 11,000 for Dave Lindholm. That's nice. Again, for these like like for a venue of only 500 people, 11k is a really good profit. Jesus. Same thing. 300 people venue, 5,000 for the profit. Cool. Yep, did pretty well. They are a pretty reliable band in that, usually at least. 44.5k. Boom. Again, Juliet Jones is hard. 3,000 minus. It just, for some reason, that's not happening. For like, there's some sort of a disconnect with either the venues or something with that band. I don't know what's going on with that. Sound of R.E.L.S 22k. Boom. Good. Excellent. Again, this tiny 75-person venue, and but it's exactly 0. I mean, we didn't lose anything though. We broke even for the culture, so you know, that's really nice. From one day, 310,000 profit. Boom. Hell yeah. Okay, moving on to Friday. 6.5k for Pauli Hanhiemen Pernateatteri. 2,000 for Sound of R.E.L.S. That was really close, but we got a profit out of it still. Yeah, so far, extremely good. Like, we haven't had any huge problems, except for one band that's making some thousands of loss. But like, I've had some really terrible runs of this at some point in my lifetime, so that's really nice. I'm learning from this that I believe it's probably a good idea to, if I do future runs, to do the full amount of media for the festival. It's costly, but it seems to be paying off here. That's what looks like is going on. 40k for Aikakone. 17.5 for a 700 people venue is really nice. Boom. 22k for Aki Sirkassalo. That got it pretty close. Mikko Kuustonen at the big market didn't pull a lot of people. 160 marks in the plus. I didn't realize that he was so expensive as an artist. Skin of your teeth, yeah. Because that could imagine like the weather going wrong, and then that could be like minus 40,000 or something. Fuck. 2,600, yeah, decent. No, I'll take the profit. That's same thing. Again, not even close to like halfway, basically, but still 4.5k. I'll take it. Sure, cool. Yeah, there was a... So, this is an example of the unexpected expense. It says here that the band had to use a private plane to get from Kemi into Turku. It's a different city. That made the cost to add an extra 6,200 marks, and that just broke the concept immediately because it was such a tight squeeze of time that of people that it just you can't make a profit with that. That's just unlucky. Like that's just how it goes. Nyland 69ers 1,000. There we go. Again, one of these tiny venues with some risk, but we got it out of it. So 10k for Sir Elwood. Pretty cool. Pretty good. Again, tiny venue, make 1,000. Just it's again. Most of these have paid off. One of them was minus 6,000 for the private plane, but So it might break into zero eventually, but so far these have been paying off just barely. 4K for Kettle Poet in the small 300 people venue. Disgrace for 2880, cool. Pretty good. Super Trooper, 184. Again, these small to mid-sized making a small profit, I'll take it. Same thing here, 1280. Again, this is a surprisingly good run. So yeah, again, this example, MA Numinen is... The thing with this is that MA Numinen is probably really cheap to book. And it brings... Even with a small number of people, it just the profits go sky high into 26 and so on. That's probably the thing. Like, it doesn't bring an excellent amount of people, but it makes a lot of profit because it's so cheap to put MA Numinen in a place. Like, there was only 836 people out of 7,000, but the cost is so cheap that it's just profit by a lot. Yeah, I'm wondering... Yeah, they should, yeah. I'm wondering if, especially in the MA Numinen case, should I go for a cheaper ticket price of 30 instead of 40 and see if the audience becomes bigger in a way that makes a big difference into it. Ouch. Yeah. Camerata and Pro Laituri, 45,000 is what the band costs to book. Yeah, that explains why it was so impossible to get them into anywhere. But I believe that's the only instance of Camerata that we put in. And, like, one of those had to go terrible, right? So if I ever play this again, let's never use Camerata Kurz Pro Laituri ever again. Like, the cost of the band is humongous. Like, it's more costly than the high class bands. Jesus. That is a weird thing. Never use that again. Minus 13k. This is gonna be a bad one. Ooh boy. They should charge less. Oh yeah. Popeda made 19.960. Boom, there we are. Saint 13 broke exactly even. In the 75-person venue, I'll take break even. It's such a throwaway venue, you know? Tough place. Yeah, 3.6 hundred in the negative. Still, even with that failure, or those failures, we pulled off for the Friday a plus of 113,000 marks. I've had a bunch of negative days in my good runs too, so that's still pretty nice. Okay, moving on to Saturday. Minus 1.700. Oof. Or 1.7... 1,700, yeah. Oof. Ouch. 7.5k of minus there. That's okay. Starting to move back, but again, often these big bands still don't pull a lot of people into the parks. Yeah, Saturday has been not good so far. Ooh, tiny minus again here. Ouch, 8,000 minus here. That's bad. Ooh. Minus 11k, minus 8k, minus 4.5k, minus... Oh boy. Minus 2k, minus 12k. Oh Jesus, this is... Was there like a terrible weather or something? What's going on? Like, I have no idea why. Oh! The Popeda had a problem because people destroyed the place for 8,000 more. Jesus. 240 minus, 3,000 minus, 3,000 minus, 520 plus, yay. 2,000 minus, 4,000 minus, 18.7 thousand minus. Nothing's working on Saturday. What the hell? Why? What's going on? Why? Damn. Breaking even. Minus 18k. I have no idea what that... Like, the weather seems perfectly sensible. Like, the only profit was that 4,000, and everything else was, like, between 2 and 18,000 in the negative. Fuck. Whoa, Jesus. Ouch. See, that's what I mean. This game is really hard in that the numbers just cascade into a catastrophe just like that. For I don't know why. Like, it's probably not a super complex game in that, so it might be just like game giving us the finger, you know? But I still think as an overall festival, the other days were so good that I think it's going to be like 200,000 or 300,000 in the plus, right? Yeah. So, yeah, all of that stuff. The unexpected costs was 27.1 thousand. Everything else we had already calculated for. So overall, it cost us 1,497,700 to pull this thing off, and the profit and the money we got was 1,600,044 and 200. Which translates to 260,500 marks in the plus, with a total amount of people of 40,589 fans in total attendance. It's not negative. It might be my best run of the of like this top list, probably. Oh boy. Yes, it is. Absolutely. So yeah, from left to right, it's points, money, audience, and like the arvonimi, basically the rank name, you know. Superjarkkari, which is like the super organizer, basically. The best possible, at least we've seen this far. But, you know, it could have gone better. I don't know why Saturday was so bad. So if I ever play this again, the two things I need to probably do is never, ever, 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 ever use Camerata for anything, because that didn't work out. Maybe try to put the big park things into a 30 mark ticket to see if it makes the amount of people higher, as they're already so clearly in the profit in many cases. So yeah. That is that. Holy crap. There, that's all the music in the game. It just loops from there. Holy moly, that was a lot of that was a big a whole big thing for sure. I'm honestly getting a little tired at this point. Such graphics, very 90s. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh boy. Needs more, like, yeah, for a game about music festivals, there's not a lot of music in it. So yeah. That is that.